Thanks for listening to the Thyroid Fixxr podcast with your host, me, Dr. Amie Hornaman, aka the Thyroid Fixxr. Also, functional medicine practitioner, hormone and weight loss expert. We're talking all things thyroid, hormone, and health related in order to empower, educate, and transform you. Remember, I fix your thyroid, I fix your hormones, I fix your life. So let's get started. This is going to be a really quick episode because I want to tell you and just do a basic rundown of the GLP-1 and GIP, GLP agonists, such as that you're hearing all over the place. And I call it the Beverly Hills soccer mom drug of choice for weight loss, Mounjaro and Ozempic. So this is going to be a game changer for you. And you can probably hear the excitement in my voice. The latest introduction, the latest member of the family to the Fixxr line is Metabolism Fixxr. And this, oh my God, I formulated this just for all my people out there that need to lose weight, that need help in the weight loss department, that can't lose weight no matter what they do, that feel like they have a slow metabolism, and that might be thinking of trying all those peptides out there, you know, the Beverly Hills soccer mom drug of choice for weight loss peptides. Or even if you're on them already and you're like, man, these are really expensive and I'm still not losing weight, add in Metabolism Fixxr. Here's what I did. I took the power of T2, which increases your basal metabolic rate while you are sitting there watching Netflix. You're burning fat while you're watching Netflix. I combined it with a very unique patented ingredient called Suppressa. Suppressa has multiple clinical trials backing its efficacy in reducing your appetite, decreasing snacking, and providing way more control over your food intake. It is amazing. We also see improved emotional well-being, just decreased food cravings all around, reduced hunger, and weight management. Add on top of that, we have green tea extract, we have purple forest purple tea extract, both of which affect the metabolism in a very positive way without the jitters of normal fat burning supplements out there from the 1980s and 90s, right? The ones that made you feel like you're having a heart attack. You will not have that in any of my supplements, Thyroid Fixxr or Metabolism Fixxr. But Metabolism Fixxr, ooh, yeah, we kicked it up a notch. It is in powder form, so you can drink it through your day. It's going to flavor your water. We got orange crush and refreshing citrus. I love them both. It is going to keep you under control all day long. So you throw a couple scoops in your water bottle in the morning, throw a scoop or two in your water bottle throughout the day. You will have fat burning and appetite control the entire day for what? An eighth of a price of the peptides? Oh my God, you can't go wrong. So grab some Metabolism Fixxr today. Please let me know how you do on it. I am super excited for you. Super excited. When we're talking about this category of weight loss medications, these were initially released and indicated for type 2 diabetes. And I'm going to share my experience using Mounjaro, which is Tirzepatide. So let me get into this a little bit more. Let's backtrack. And these medications are not that old. I'm sure you have seen ad nauseum advertisements for Ozempic. I could probably hum this theme song if I really thought about it. Oh, isn't it that, Ozempic, right? Don't laugh at my singing ability or lack thereof. You've seen that commercial a million times, not really realizing what it is. If you look in the parentheses, it is semaglutide. Semaglutide is a peptide. Now you hear in the biohacking space, Nat Nidham, Ben Greenfield, all of us are talking about peptides. You've heard BPC 157 for healing, the Wolverine stack. I talked about using peptides post-surgery. So these specific groups of peptides are the weight loss peptides specifically for reducing insulin and balancing out glucose and for kind of getting over that hurdle of weight loss when you just can't get it done. Nothing's working, right? You've done all the hormone optimization. You've done the thyroid optimization. All of your numbers look good. I mean, you're eating perfectly, right? And things just are not happening. This is where we bring in these GLP-1 agonists to kind of push the needle a little bit, to give you that quick win of weight loss, to where maybe you can reel it in a little bit more. You can have a little bit more control because you're getting bang for your buck. You're getting rewarded for your efforts of eating well and taking your supplements and optimizing your thyroid and all the things. So when we're talking about semaglutide was kind of the OG. That was the original GLP-1 agonist that came to market. And dosing protocols for semaglutide / Ozempic is to start very, very low, like 0.25, and then increase from there. Some people need to increase, some people don't. And the biggest thing with semaglutide when it came out was the nausea component, severe nausea. And there were many people that didn't experience the weight loss benefits and only experienced the side effects of it, of severe nausea. Fatigue is another one. Heartburn, because of the slowed gastric emptying that GLP-1 agonists do. Heartburn was another big one. And that just limited the amount of people that could efficiently use the GLP-1 agonists and medications and get the benefits of it, kind of making it worthwhile to stay on it, right? Who wants to just be thrown up all day? So that's the semaglutide peptide GLP-1 agonist drug. Now, there are a lot of benefits to GLP-1 agonists outside of the weight loss. So when we're talking about it, we have to mention that it's fantastic at protecting the liver. It has some cardiovascular protection. It helps to lower blood pressure. It helps to lower lipid panels. Not that I want you having super low cholesterol. That's a whole other podcast. But there are a lot of benefits to these types of drugs. The other glutides that you may have heard of as a once-a-week injectable outside of Ozempic, which is semaglutide, you might have heard of Trulicity. That's dulaglutide. You may have heard of Victoza, Saxenda. Those are daily instead of weekly injections. That's liraglutide. And then we have the new kid on the block, Tirzepatide. That is Mounjaro. Now, the one great thing about Mounjaro is that we have seen a significant decrease in side effects from this new kid on the block. The nausea has gone down significantly. The weight loss has improved. We're seeing a larger group of people get the benefit from Mounjaro than in comparison to semaglutide, which has been out for a while. So we're having less and less, we'll say, plateaus, receptor clogging with Mounjaro versus semaglutide. And the crazy thing about that is you would think with the increased dose of Mounjaro, so starting dose of Mounjaro is 2.5 milligrams, working up to 5, and then possibly 7.5 or 10 milligrams. But most people do just fine at 2.5 or 5 milligrams. You would think with the increased dosing, there would be additional side effects, but there's not. And the talk of that is because it is the GIP one, in addition to the GLP, that is preventing the side effects. So, hey, we'll take it. With Mounjaro, with all of these new drugs out for weight loss, yes, there's the amazing benefit of reducing obesity, because we are living in a very obese society, and we know that weight is a huge contributor to disease. So heart failure, stroke, kidney disease, heart disease, all of those are tied to carrying around excessive weight. When a person loses the weight, we significantly reduce their disease risk. Okay, that's a no-brainer. We know that. So that the reduction of age-related diseases, heart disease, cancer, all of that, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, all of that comes with these GLP-1 agonist drugs. So there's a host of benefits outside of the weight loss. But with the weight loss, you also get that crossover benefit, right? And it also gives a person that little extra motivation. So when you're, and you know this, when you're seeing the results occur, you have way more motivation to keep going, and not give up. When you don't see the results occur, that's when you want to throw in the towel. That's why I have an actual podcast that is basically you don't give a shit syndrome. You just say, well, nothing I'm doing is working anyway. So why not just eat the pizza, right? When you have the reward, when you have that reward of weight loss for your efforts, because these Mounjaro, semaglutide, Ozempic are not medications to go on and then eat whatever you want. They are a tool for your body to reduce its insulin, balance blood sugar, improve satiety levels, improve your GI levels in that your gastric emptying will slow down. Now that can come with the heartburn side effect. So that's not always great for everybody. But when you start these medications, if you start these medications, you have to do it alongside a changed lifestyle, a changed, improved lifestyle. So you have to make the changes to what you're putting in your mouth, to your workouts. You have to reel it all in. And for those with an insatiable appetite, these are also very helpful because it teaches portion control. You just can't overeat. You just cannot overeat. So let me tell you a little bit about my experience with Mounjaro. I wanted to play around with it. Not that I had a ton of weight to lose whatsoever. I wanted to play around with it though for you to be able to come back and give you my report and be able to better adequately guide my patients who want to try it. So when I started trying Mounjaro, it was still covered by insurance. I guess I say that term loosely. They did have a $25 coupon on their site that you could download. And, Mounjaro just came out. So the drug company, which I think is Eli Lilly, wanted everybody to try it and kind of get it into the hands of the patient. And now they're realizing like, whoa, all these people are coming in with these $25 coupons. Nope, no more. So they are no longer honoring that, accepting that. You better be full-blown type 2 diabetic in order to get it prescribed. So there's your downfall. You might go to your doctor right now and say, hey, can I try this new Mounjaro or Ozempic? I think it'll really help me. Unless you are type 2 diabetic, it's not going to be approved. You're looking at probably around $1,000 a month. Now, for some people, that's worth it. For others, no go. So when we're talking about peptides, yes, peptides are able to be purchased from websites by the consumer. But when you do, you have to know that it is a research-based website only. So any of my patients out there that want to ask me about peptides, I'm not going to talk about it on here. It's going to be a private conversation. And even then, you are going to order these at your own risk. Now, us as biohackers, that's where we go. We understand the different websites that sell peptides, and you can't just go to anyone. You want to go to reputable ones. But we know that the places that we order these peptides from are 99% reputable. No, they're not a compounding pharmacy, but they're darn close, right? And we kind of roll the dice. But Tirzepatide peptide / Mounjaro is still around $160 a week. So it's not a cheap date, but it absolutely works. Now, I have had some people, even a friend of mine, try it. She got very, very sick, very, very tired. And it really kind of kicked her butt for the first week and a half. Your body does get used to it. So in the beginning of my Mounjaro journey, I did not experience the nausea, the fatigue, anything like that. I did not get severely low blood pressure, blood sugar like some people do. I did have a complete elimination of my appetite, which was actually kind of weird. Scary, I won't use that term, but it was definitely kind of weird in that I had to force myself to eat and to consume protein because I didn't want to go into a muscle wasting time. I didn't want to drop my metabolism by keeping my calories so low. So I did have to consciously eat in order to consume adequate calories for the day and adequate protein. As time went on and I continued to use Mounjaro weekly, once a week injectable, I noticed that my appetite would come back sooner instead of lasting, let's say 4 or 5 days. It would maybe last 2 days. And it wouldn't be so bad. I was able to get in my calories and my protein. I did notice that when I took off and I did a hard stop of Mounjaro, my appetite came back tenfold. And that is a common question that I would expect all of you to ask. Am I going to gain all the way back after I go off of these? Well, the answer is maybe. You don't want to go off and go crazy. You don't want to go off of these medications and then eat anything that you want because you just dropped 10 pounds. So you have to titrate off of your dose, maybe spacing it out 10 days, 14 days. Do not come off of it cold turkey. And maybe plan on implementing a once a month protocol where you're using it for maintenance. And then it just becomes a tool in your back pocket. I hate to say use it like during the holidays, but damn, right? Coming off the holidays and all the cookies and the alcohol that we talked about the past week of how to undo the damage. Yeah, that would be a very effective tool to plug in the week of Christmas and New Year's, wouldn't it now? So there are biohacking ways to use this. I'm choosing my words very, very carefully on here because I want you all to be educated. I want you to know my experience. I want you to know the pros and cons, but you also have to know that you just can't ask for this. This isn't like me telling you to advocate for T3. You cannot just go, don't come to me, don't come to your prescribers, don't go to your doctor and just ask for it, because unless you are type 2 diabetic, you're going to get a hefty, hefty bill at the pharmacy. So I want you to know that. You might have to order the peptide yourself. You might have to learn how to reconstitute it, use the peptide calculator, figure out the dosing, get into different forums that can help you. I love Nat Nidham. I talk about her all the time. She was on my podcast. I was on her podcast. She has a fantastic Facebook group that talks a ton about peptides. You can join my Girl Fixxr Thyroid Facebook group and post your question about peptides in there. I mean, we will definitely talk about them. It's just that kind of fine line where us as practitioners can't get too detailed and, well, this is how you dose it and this is how you reconstitute it, because it's still, you are ordering from a quote unquote research-based facility only. Okay, I'm hoping that this helps. Do some research on your own on these two, but that is my 2 cents, 5 cents anecdotal evidence of the next wave of what we can use in our weight loss arsenal. Hopefully they're not abused, pulled from the market, because we know that can happen with any good thing. There's always people out there that abuse it and like have a heart attack or whatever. Let's not abuse it. Let's use it properly. And I will say one last thing before I go, contraindications. Yes, there are some studies that show that if you have had medullary thyroid cancer, this is contraindicated. There are no human studies to date. This was all found in rats. And there's also the effect of pancreatitis that we did see with semaglutide. And that is also a risk factor in using Mounjaro too. So you have to know about those in terms of potential side effects or contraindications. Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I hope you loved it. And as always, if you would be so kind to leave a review if you are listening on Apple Podcasts, that would be absolutely amazing. I read all of them. Also, anything that you hear on this podcast is not intended to diagnose or treat any kind of medical condition. So we always recommend that you check with your medical provider, your doctor, your nurse practitioner before implementing anything that you hear on this podcast. And if you want to find out more about working together, you can click the link below in the show notes to book a discovery call. And there you'll be talking to a member of my team. They are an extension of me. They are amazing. And you and I will talk after that once we get you all signed up and you and I get to work together. All right. I hope to see you soon.